Imagine you're standing in East Africa 2 million years ago. No fire, no cooking, no knives, just a sharp rock if you're lucky. And you're hungry. Not the kind of hungry where you check the fridge, the kind where your body is eating itself. In front of you is a freshly killed antelope. It's still warm. Steam is rising from the open cavity, and you are about to do something no modern human has ever had to do. Tear into raw, bloody, uncooked meat with nothing but your teeth. Swallow it. And somehow, against everything your body is screaming at you, survive. Now here's the part that will genuinely surprise you. Your ancestors did this for nearly 2 million years, not occasionally, not in emergencies, every single day. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner, raw. And the honest truth about what that was actually like is so much grosser than anything you learned in school. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what humans ate before fire, why your body still carries the scars of that 2 million year diet, and the one discovery that changed everything. Let's kill a myth first. You have probably seen the image 100 times. A group of early humans huddled around a fire, maybe roasting meat on a stick, maybe just staying warm. It's the default picture of prehistoric life. It makes sense. Fire feels ancient. It feels like something humans have always had. The problem is, it's wrong. Humans have existed in some form for about 6 million years. Controlled fire? The earliest solid evidence we have is maybe 1.5 million years ago, and even that is heavily debated among scientists. Most researchers put the real mastery of fire much later, around 400,000 years ago. That means for the vast majority of human history, there was no cooking, no roasting, no boiling, no warm meals of any kind. For millions of years, every single thing that went into a human mouth was raw. So what was on the menu? What they actually ate. The earliest human ancestors, the ones living 6 million years ago, ate a lot like chimpanzees do today. Mostly fruit, leaves, nuts, maybe the occasional insect. Nothing too dramatic. Then something shifted. Around 2.6 million years ago, the fossil record starts telling a different story. Archaeologists found animal bones covered in cut marks, deliberate, methodical cuts made by stone tools. These weren't tooth marks from a lion. These were butchery marks from human hands. So what were they cutting into? The answer is not what you would expect. Early humans were not hunting mammoths. They were not apex predators. They were scavengers. And they were going after one specific thing that the big predators left behind: bone marrow. Here is what makes bone marrow such a perfect food for a scavenger. When a lion or a saber-tooth finishes eating a carcass, the meat is mostly gone. But the bones are still there. And inside those bones is a dense, fatty, calorie-rich substance that almost nothing else could access. Lions can't crack open thick bones. Hyenas can, but not every bone. Early humans figured out that if you smash a bone with a rock, you get access to food that no one else can reach. It doesn't spoil quickly. It doesn't require hunting skill. And it is packed with energy. That sounds kind of clever, right? A smart adaptation. It is. But now let's talk about the part that wasn't clever. Because marrow was just the appetizer. The main course was raw meat. And raw meat comes with problems that most people never think about, because cooking solved all of them so completely that we forgot they ever existed. Be honest. Most people alive right now could not eat a plate of raw antelope and keep it down. Not reliably. Not for long. Here is why. Raw meat is full of things your body is not designed to handle. Parasites, bacteria, the kind of organisms that cooking kills in seconds. Trichinosis, a parasitic roundworm, lives in raw meat and, once inside you, migrates through your intestinal wall into your bloodstream and then into your muscles. Your muscles. The worms literally burrow into the meat of your body and live there. And that is just one parasite. There are dozens. Tapeworms that can grow longer than your entire body, living inside your intestines for years. Bacteria like E. coli and Salmonella that your modern stomach can barely handle even with medicine. So how did ancient humans not drop dead immediately? The honest answer is messier than a simple yes or no. Some of them absolutely did get sick. Some of them absolutely died from it. The fossil record shows evidence of parasitic infections in early human remains. This wasn't a clean, healthy lifestyle. It was survival. But here is the part that matters. Over millions of years, the human digestive system adapted. Our stomach acid became more acidic than almost any other primates, closer to the acid levels of scavengers like vultures. That acid killed a lot of the bacteria before it could reach our intestines. Our immune systems evolved to fight off the parasites that did make it through. It was an arms race, inside your own body, for millions of years, and you still carry the evidence. The scars you still have. Your jaw. Let's talk about your jaw. If you have ever had your wisdom teeth removed, you have experienced a direct consequence of the pre-fire diet. Here is why. Before fire and before advanced stone tools, eating raw meat was a full-body workout, and your jaw took most of the damage. Early humans had massive jaw muscles, thick teeth, and powerful bite forces. They needed them. Raw meat is tough. It requires grinding. It requires time. Researchers estimate that early humans spent up to 5 or 6 hours every single day just chewing. That is not an exaggeration. Before slicing tools became common, the only way to process raw meat was to grind it between your teeth for hours. Then two things happened. Stone tools got better, allowing early humans to slice meat into smaller pieces before eating it. And eventually, fire and cooking made food dramatically softer. That sounds like a clean victory. It isn't. The human jaw and teeth began shrinking, fast, in evolutionary terms. Our faces got flatter, our jaw muscles got weaker, and our wisdom teeth, which used to fit just fine in a larger jaw, suddenly had nowhere to go. Today, roughly 35% of people are born without wisdom teeth at all. Evolution is actively deleting them from our genome because they have become a liability. Right now, inside your mouth, you carry the evolutionary scars of 2 million years of raw meat and the sudden switch to cooking, your crowded teeth, the jaw that is slightly too small for all of them, the way you sometimes bite your cheek by accident. None of those make sense until you understand what your ancestors were eating. So when did everything change? The short answer is, we do not know exactly. The long answer is more interesting. The earliest possible evidence of controlled fire comes from sites in Africa dated to about 1.5 million years ago. Burned bones, patches of ancient ash, heat-cracked rocks. But the evidence is thin. Many archaeologists are skeptical. What looks like a campfire could also be a lightning strike. What looks like cooking could be a natural grass fire that swept through after humans left. The first site that most researchers agree shows deliberate fire use is in Israel, a place called Gesher Benot Yaakov, dated to about 790,000 years ago. Burned seeds, wood, and flint scattered in patterns that do not match natural fires. But here is a question worth sitting with. Was fire discovered so humans could cook? Or did cooking become possible because fire was already being used for something else? The evidence points to the second one. Early humans likely controlled fire first for warmth, for protection from predators, for light. Cooking may have been an accident. A piece of meat that fell into the flames was retrieved and tasted better, softer, easier to chew, and maybe, though they could not have known it, less likely to make them sick. Once cooking became regular, the dominoes fell fast. Cooking makes food easier to digest. That means the body spends less energy breaking it down. That freed up energy? Scientists believe it went straight to the brain. The human brain tripled in size over the last 2 million years, and the expensive tissue hypothesis argues that a smaller gut, made possible by cooked food, literally funded a bigger brain. Fire did not just change what humans ate, it changed what humans were. Here is the part that lands closer to home than you might expect. You cannot go back. Not really. There are modern raw food movements, people who try to eat only uncooked food, and the results are instructive. Studies of long-term raw foodists show high rates of energy deficiency. Women on strict raw diets often stop menstruating. The body simply cannot extract enough calories from raw food to sustain itself at modern activity levels. Your body was redesigned by fire, your smaller teeth, your shorter gut, your massive brain. All of it depends on cooked food now. The 2 million year era of eating everything raw did not just end, it was overwritten inside you. And yet, the appendix, the wisdom teeth, the stomach acid that is still, to this day, closer to a vulture's than a chimpanzee's. The instinctive disgust you feel when you see raw meat sitting out too long. These are not design flaws. They are echoes. You are carrying a museum inside your body, and the exhibits are still running. If you found this interesting, there is a lot more where that came from. Every video on this channel asks one question about being human that you have probably never thought to ask, and the answers are almost always stranger than you expect. Put your thoughts in the comments below. What is the one food you could absolutely never eat raw? Be honest. And if you want to know what happens when you take a modern human and drop them into the Stone Age with absolutely nothing, no tools, no fire, no skills, that video is coming next. Subscribe so you do not miss it.